of the dream to give back to the nation, SWAG TV International is organizing a free training for videography and photography for at least 500 persons right here in the city of Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. Our vision is to empower as many young minds as possible with the aim of giving them a reason to secure a better future for themselves. For more inquiry, please call 080-811-23481. SWAG TV International, giving back to the nation. As part of the dream to give back to the nation, SWAG TV International is organizing a free training for videography and photography for at least 500 persons right here in the city of Port Harcourt, River State, Nigeria. Our vision is to empower as many young minds as possible with the aim of giving them a reason to secure a better future for themselves. For more inquiry, please call 080-811-23481. SWAG TV International, giving back to the nation.
Regardless of the words you're telling me that the sky is my limit, I know that I can reach for the stars. I may live in my emotions and you may scrutinize my expression, but I will make every moment count. I will claw, punch, and kick my way through every barrier that leads to the top, because I know that I can break a nail. I am more than what you see. I am more than entertainment. I am SWAG TV, giving back to the nation.
Feeling the sun, party down, shadows walking home. Walking with a game on. You are my kind, classic mind, and you look so fine. Loving the cold, smoking roses, shake. And get out brave, so kind of freeze me. Don't know what I need. Don't doubt me, babe. You make me wanna change. Break my bed to make me wanna stay. I can't when you say it like that. Got me falling right back. Got me falling right back.
Hello?
Hi, good morning,
Yeah, I've
ladies and
started
gentlemen.
now.
Of course, my name is Omoji Ahmed, and I'm saying the SWAT thing and because foremost.
I've started.
And I happen to be among the very most innocent guys in the face of planet Earth, like the Caesar itself, who I came, I saw, and of course, I conquered because the street refused to go to church. I made up my mind I would definitely take the church to the street now, only that we may welcome not the swag. Ladies and gentlemen, this is discovering the gold mine in real estate. And today our topic is the three most important ways of making money to land banking. Okay, a lot of you will be looking at, okay, what is land banking? Someone will say, what is land banking? Okay, we're going to discuss that immediately after the break. Of course, I have an amazing personality right there with me on set that have actually, in one way or the other, benefited from land banking process when it comes to real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, but our discussion will be after the break. I'll be right back shortly. Now welcome back from the break. Like I earlier on said, how's the fine. All right, nice. All right. Okay. We all know that land banking, I say, people will ask questions. What is land banking? What is land banking? Land banking, in our own terms, is actually. But let me give that to our guest. Let him tell us a little bit now. Sir, in your terms, what is land banking?
Well, land banking is a subject that is open to different interpretation,
Okay.
different definition, depending from your perspective where you are looking at it from.
Okay.
So, but from my own perspective,
Okay.
I see land banking as a deliberate attempt to store value in landed assets, real estate, that is land, as simple as it is.
Okay.
So, this you do by having a clear view, that is a clear forecast. And it's not everybody that has this ability to forecast or to be able to have foresight to see his value in land.
Okay.
So most important thing when it comes to land banking is the strategic value, time value this land will be able to acquire over a short period or a long period of time. The idea about land banking boils down to foresight. If you don't have foresight, you can bank your money perpetually and no income, no return from investment. But the idea about land banking is putting your money where over time you see value for a lot of money. You see different forms of land banking. So basically, you can buy to keep to sell in the future. You can buy to keep to develop, and the more you develop, it's another way of utilizing the value of your land to get incentives for banking your resources in that land.
Okay. Now you talk about foresight, all right? You talk about foresight. Now, what about in the scenario? We have a lot of persons that their major focus is they will tell you, okay, that place is bush, we don't want to buy. Okay, we want to buy in township. Because why? A lot of persons are living here, a lot of persons are living here. But you see that place, nobody is staying in that bush, nobody is staying in that environment, so I cannot buy a land over that place. Now, is it wise for someone that have never owned to his or her own self property, and this person is trying to make money? Okay, so and this person is trying to make money, so this person want to buy a land. Is it which would you advise the person to do? Is it to buy in the bush or to buy in township? Now, knowing fully well that maybe their phone is not even enough to buy in township. Okay,
Yeah.
but they want somewhere that will give them return back money, return capital. Okay, and sometimes they tell you, "No, I cannot buy in this bush. I want to buy in this township." Which would you advise the person to go into with his money?
Well, before I comment, I want to emphasize that before there was township, there was bush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for you to have the mentality that you only want to buy in township,
Yeah.
it took somebody the courage and the bold step to go to that bush that is now in a township to buy and to start developing. And that's why it comes and it boils down to foresight. Not everybody. There are, like now, if you give our grandparents 1,000 naira and you give them 50 naira, for instance, or probably 20 naira, they will definitely value 20 naira more than 1,000, because as at their own time, probably the highest denomination was 20 naira.
Okay.
So they see it with that value. But in our generation, the biggest denomination is 1,000 naira. So if you give an old person 1,000 naira, for instance, he will tend to, what kind of money is this? He may buy and will not even wait for change because he does not know the value. That boils down to how I'm trying to relate it to how people see land banking, how people see the idea of buying land in the bush. Now, buying land in the bush, you don't just buy land because it's in the bush or because it's probably cheap. You buy land because of some factors that you check.
Okay.
Basically, land values with accessibility. You check things like that. Is the land accessible? Yes. You also check things like presence of government.
Okay.
How close is government facility or amenities to this particular asset you want to acquire? When you check those things, you check the prospects. I say foresight. Do not have foresight. Even when you show them this is gold, they will not go for gold. They will go for something inferior because nobody has the gift. Not everybody has gift of foresight. So you give them that benefit of doubt. But even if you don't have the gift of foresight, you also have the gift of choice. It's something that God has given you. You choose to make rational decisions. You want to come to that township to buy land. You buy that land in that township, you'll be under pressure because the land definitely will be outside your reach. Just like you said, they do not have enough money and they want to acquire assets. So the idea is you don't just
States. And today our topic is the three most important ways of making money through land banking. Of course, a lot of you will be looking at, okay, what is land banking? Someone who says, what is land banking? Okay, we're going to discuss that immediately after the break. Of course, I have an amazing personality right there with me on set that have actually, in one way or the other, benefited from land banking process when it comes to real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, our discussion is going to be after the break. I'll be right back shortly. Now, welcome back from the break. Like I earlier on said before, this is discovering the gold mine in real estate with the boss of all bosses, and we are looking at three major ways of making money, stable income to land banking. And of course, my guest with me on stage is another person but Mr. Manasseh. How's everything, sir?
everything has been fine. It's been all right. So it's nice.
All right. Okay. We all know that land banking per se, people ask questions, what is land banking? What is land banking? We know land banking in our own terms is actually, but let me give that to our guest. Let him tell us a little bit now. Sir, in your terms, what is land banking?
Well, land banking is a subject that is open to different interpretation,
Okay.
different mission, depending effective where you are looking at it from.
All right.
So, but from my own perspective,
Okay.
I see land banking as a deliberate attempt to store value in landed assets, in real estate, that's in land, as simple as it is.
Okay.
So this you do by having a clear view, that is a clear forecast. And it's not everybody that has this ability to forecast or to be able to have the foresight to see the value in land.
Okay.
So most important thing when it comes to land banking
Mm.
is the strategic value, the time value this land will be able to acquire over a short period or a long period of time.
Time.
But the idea about land banking boils down to foresight.
For
If
sight.
you don't have foresight, you can bank money perpetually and there will be no income. There will be no returns on investment.
Okay.
But the idea about land banking, putting your money where over time you will see value for
For
it.
your money.
You will see appreciation,
Okay.
see improvement, you
All
see
right.
an increase in it.
Mm.
There are different forms of land banking.
Okay.
So basically, you can buy to keep to sell in the future.
Mm.
You can buy to keep to develop.
Mm.
And the more you develop, is another way of utilize value of the
value of
land
the
to get incentives for banking your resources in that land.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Now you talk about foresight, all right, Mr. Mananson. You talked about foresight. Now, what about in the scenario? We have a lot of persons that their major focus is they will tell you, okay, that place is bush, we don't want to buy. Okay, we want to buy in township because why? A lot of persons are living, a lot of persons are living here. I see that place, nobody is staying in that bush, nobody is staying in that environment, so I cannot buy a land over that place. Now, for someone that have never never owned to his or her own self a landed property, and this person is trying to make money. Okay, so and this person is trying to make money, so this person want to buy a land. Is it which would you advise the person to do? Is it to buy in the bush or to buy in township? Now, knowing fully well that maybe their phone is not even enough to buy in township. Okay,
Yeah.
but they want something that will give them return back money, return capital. And sometimes they tell you, no, I can't buy in this bush. I want to buy in this township. Which would you advise the person going to with his money?
Well, before I comment, I want to emphasize that before there was township, there was bush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for you to have the mentality that you only want to buy in township,
Yeah.
it took somebody the courage and the bold step to go that bush that is now in a township to buy and to start developing. And that's why it comes and it boils down to foresight. Not everybody. There are, like now, if you give our grandparents 1,000 naira and you give them 15 naira, for instance, or probably 20 naira, they will definitely value 20 naira more than 1,000 because as at their own time, probably the highest denomination was 20 naira.
Okay.
So they see it with that value. But in our generation, the biggest denomination is 1,000 naira. So if you give an old person 1,000 naira, for instance, he will tend to, what kind of money is this? He may buy and will not even wait for change because he does not know the value. That boils down to how I'm trying to relate it to how people see land banking, how people see the idea of buying land in the bush. You don't just buy land because it's in the bush or because it's probably cheap. You buy land because of some factors that you check.
Okay.
Basically, land values with accessibility. You check things like that. Is the land accessible? Yes. You also check things like presence of government.
Okay.
How close is government facility or amenities to this particular asset you want to acquire? When you check those things, you check the prospect. That's why I say foresight. Some people do not have foresight. Even when you show them gold, they will not go for gold. They will go for something inferior because nobody has the gift. Not everybody has the gift of foresight. So you give them that benefit of doubt. But even if you don't have the gift of foresight, you also have the gift of choice. It's something that God has given you. You choose to make rational decisions. You want to come to that township to buy land. You buy that land in that township, you'll be under pressure because the land definitely will be outside your reach. Just like you said, they do not have enough money and they want to acquire assets. So the idea is you don't just go to the bush. Why am I going to this bush? You check your forecast in the next 2 or 5 or 10 years. What do I expect? You don't just go for the sake of getting gratified for the land. You check self-gratification as one of the last resort. There's a reason, like, let me give you an instance. The Israelites, when they do business, they don't do business because of the immediate gain. That is why their business spans for generations after generations. They see, okay, if I start this, over time, my son should be able to come and build on this. Over time, my grandson should be able to come and build on this. And that's why most of us in the globe today benefit from their innovation. So if you want to go for an asset, in my opinion, you go for an asset, even if it's in the bush. Like, let me give you an instance. Lekki as it is today, the Lekki Ajah axis in Lagos. I thank God for the Igbo brothers we have in Nigeria. God has given them this natural gift of foresight. Anywhere you see an Igbo man goes to buy land initially, I would advise you to key into that because they have this natural foresight. You go to Ajah as of today, as interior as it is, Ajah is highly developed. You have to go to Sango Tedo on your way to Ekpe, probably, before you even see land to buy. 10 years from now, those before now, those places were probably bush and swamps, but people have already developed it. So you have to, if you don't have the foresight, you have to key into other people that have the foresight. There's nothing to feel big or feel inferior about. Yeah, I don't have, okay, like, for instance, you want to invest money. From the insights I got from the richest man in Babylon, a particular literature. When you have money and you do not know how to invest money, they ask you to go after the masters of money. You meet the masters of money and entrust them with your money with an agreement that you are going to be getting returns on. So you desire to have land, but you do not have the foresight to be able to determine which land is profitable or which land is not profitable, which land has prospects of appreciating and which one doesn't. You go to meet reliable dealers, reliable agents, reliable developers that are into this business, that have a reputation to protect, and you invest your money with them, just like advised in that particular literature. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to be guided rightly on the way and manner you should be able to put your money, on what type of landed asset you should be able to acquire
and get a return.
The idea is return, profitability.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, in case you're just staying glued to your TV set, don't forget this is Discovering the Gold Mine in Real Estate. And of course, our guest right there with us on set is not a person but Mr. Manasseh. We'll go on a very short break. Don't forget, when we return, Mr. Manasseh is actually going to be telling us his own experience when it comes to land banking. That's what we're looking at today, land banking, how we can acquire wealth in land banking. But after the short break, he's going to be telling us his own experience. We'll be right back shortly.
Development is like a wildfire. Nothing can stop it. Today's bush, tomorrow's paradise. Prado World International new price alert. Prado Estate Abara is now selling at 650,000 naira per plot. It's a 1-minute drive from the RSU Faculty of Agriculture near Stella Maris University. Features: dry land suitable for investment, event center, well-designed layout, good road network, shopping mall, and more. Documentation: deed of conveyance, registered survey plan, no agency fee, no bush entry, and no family wahala. Office address: number 19A Old Aba Road, Caterpillar House, Romamasi, Port Harcourt. Office line: 0808-112-3481 or 0810-479-1824. That is 0808-112-3481 or 0810-479-1824. Prado World International. Today's bush, tomorrow's paradise.
My name is Stephen Okia. I got to know about Cradle World a couple of weeks back when a friend at the office told me about this very juicy offer. Um, for me, a satisfied customer defines quality, and Cradle World has gone a long way to show this level of quality. I mean, all the way from the site visits to the quality of land they've had to sell, dryness of the land, and proximity to an institution. I think this is an offer that is very, very irresistible. Of course, after the site visit, I was very much encouraged to go ahead and commit. And here I am today with a copy of my land documents. And my advice to people out there would be to make the most of this offer, because it's, I mean, very too good to be true at this point. Prices might go up much later, but make the best you can with what's available now. And to Cradle World, I would say keep the flag flying and continue this level of professionalism and quality. Thank you very much.
Development is like a wildfire. Nothing can stop it. Today's Bush, tomorrow's Paris. Prado World International new price alert. Prado Estate Abara is now selling at 650,000 naira per plot. It's a 1-minute drive from the RSU Faculty of Agriculture near Stella Maris University. Features: dry land, suitable for investment, event center, well-designed layout, good road network, shopping mall, and more. Documentation: deed of conveyance, registered survey plan, no agency fee, no bush entry, and no family wahala. Office address: number 19A Old Abba Road, Caterpillar House, Romamasi, Port Harcourt. Office line 080-112-3481 or 0810-479-1824. That is 0808-112-3481 or 0810-479-1824. Prado World International. Today's Bush, tomorrow's paradise.
Now, welcome back from the break. Don't forget, this is Discovering the Gold Mine in Real Estate with the boss of all bosses. And of course, we have on set with us here is Mr. Manson. So, Mr. Manson, we are talking about how to acquire wealth in land banking, the three major ways on how you can acquire wealth in land banking. We know that acquiring of wealth in land banking has so many ways, okay, but we're looking at just major three. We would like you to tell us a little bit about your experience when it comes to land banking. Have you ever benefited from land banking?
Definitely.
Right.
I've benefited from land banking. Well, let me start it this way. You see, land tenure system in Nigeria is not strange.
Okay.
The tenure system, government recognizes ownership in different forms.
Okay.
So we have government lands, we have communal lands, we have different categories of lands.
Right.
And so accessing land as an asset can be very, very complicated in Nigeria if you are not informed. And even in Nigeria, the communal system of land differs. What you find in the north is different from what you find in the west,
Okay.
or different from what you find in the south. But regardless, whatever it is that you want to benefit from land, you have to go with the idea that you are willing to take the risk. Number two, you have to go with the idea that you need to do it smartly. Number three, you have to go with the idea that you need to deal with people that are transparent. Integrity is what matters when you want to acquire landed assets. You don't just entrust your resources to people because you have the resources. In as much as you might probably have inherited this amount of money, you shouldn't let it slip out of your hand just like that. You might also have earned this money by privileges you have to do one or two things. You should not also let this amount of money to just slide out of your hand. So, considering my own experience, when you look at the idea of banking, the idea is putting money probably with an institution or with some persons or with a society for safekeeping. Now, in our current 21st century, we know that the $1 million of year 2000 is not the same $1 million in 2020.
Yeah.
And then if you keep $1 million in the bank,
Dang.
then you probably go and meet $990,000 in the bank, because the bank will always charge you for services they render, for updates they give, for the safekeeping. So when you bank your money in the bank, you actually lose money over time to the charges and to inflation, because the $1 million of them cannot be able to purchase things as of today, because inflation would have eaten up the value. So when you are doing land banking, there are reasons for banking money. And the primary reason for banking money, like as a Christian, the guy they gave talent that buried the talent, and the master would have it with the banker, so that even if you did not have talent, I would have made interest. So the idea of banking money is to make interest. It's not to acquire losses. It's not to incur losses. So in my own system, I started by renting land and then striking deals with landowners, people that have the resources to develop their land. Yeah. So we go into a deal. I would supply capital, we run production for the time being with the money I'm supposed to have saved in the bank, and then I'll put it into that line and allow the time to take place. And you know, one thing with, okay, let me be specific now, crop production. One thing with crop production is that you do your part and leave the rest for nature. Nature will take its course. They will definitely grow. The sun will shine. In the absence of rain, you improvise. So you also check, just like I said, foresight. You check availability of water. Where I check most times were lands that were close to waterways, to drainage lines, around streams, around dams. What do? When I go there, I meet people that have the land. They do not have access to funds, because in Nigeria, one of the challenges we have is access to funds for starters of business. Now, the little fund I was supposed to bank in the regular commercial bank, I'll push it into that system. What do? We now produce smartly. There's difference between working hard and working smart. You have to work smart so that you maximize the benefits you derive from that land. So that at the end of the day, you pay the workers, the person you are into business with will enjoy dividends, and you yourself will make interest.
Yeah.
So we bank by putting crops. And you don't just plant crops because you want to plant crops. For instance, I'm into legumes like Irish potatoes, peanuts, cowpeas, and soybeans. Now, if you plant and you are supposed to harvest probably by February, you will lose money because everybody is harvesting by February. So the price will be determined by the forces of demand and supply. So the price will definitely go down because there will be surplus product in the market. So once you are into production, you consider, okay, everybody will harvest by February. Why don't I start early so that I will make harvest by probably December or maximum second week of January, when the product is still scarce in the market. So you see, you have banked your money in the land. You didn't just keep it by renting the land. You made use of the land to produce something. And at the end of the day, what you have produced has created interest, because you don't even, like, you create value in the production chain. Why? Because you are into production. You do not monopolize the entire production chain by having to produce, taking it to the market, the logistics side, having to sell, the retail side, no. Right on the farm, the dealers come, they meet you there. And let's say, for example, you invested, let me use a minimum amount, 150,000 naira. And at the end of the day, you are making 375,000 naira in a period of maximum of 96 days. And you still have seedlings left that you can still sell to other farmers that want to continue, or you can still roll it back into the farm before the next farming season. So it just boils down to your ability to have the foresight. If you do not have the foresight, key into those that have the foresight and have proven to be capable of banking their money in landed assets or in landed assets.
But how long have you been in this exercise? How long have you been doing this?
Well, I would say this is something I grew up in because my grandparents are farmers. My parents have learned farming. So during the university days, I could not have time to practice that. But I've seen that as a major channel to channel my youthful energy. So I would say almost a lifetime, but in the business way and manner, I would say in the last like 50 months.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you talked about this. I think that is one of the major challenge a lot of we in this part of the country are facing. The ability to take risks is not there. See, we prefer keeping our monies in the bank. We prefer seeing those digits every now and then. We just want to see the digits. We just want to wake up in the morning, look at our bank account and say, hey, I have 10 million, I have 5 million, I have 20 million, and we are not willing and ready to take the risk. Okay. And that's what you said. You said if you want to venture into land banking, the first thing you should think of doing is to learn how to take risks, learn how to take risks.
Yes.
And of course, you mentioned trustworthy people for you to invest your money into. Yes, but you mentioned risk first before the trustworthy. Why did you choose the risk first before trustworthy? I was expecting trustworthy should be first. Okay, I trust you the first. Then second, let me take the risk. But you mentioned the risk first. You need to take the risk. You need to make up your mind that I'm ready to take the risk before you now start looking for the people to trust.
Exactly, because the idea of even living, existing in this life boils down to risk.
Oh,
yeah. People
okay.
sleep and die.
Mm.
Does that stop you from sleeping?
No.
So you risk the chances of sleeping to rest with the
Mm.
hope that I'll wake up.
I got that. He said people sleep and die, but does that stop you from sleeping?
Exactly.
It's an amazing one.
So-
Okay, I got that. People sleep and die. But does that stop you from sleeping? It doesn't stop you from sleeping. All right, of course, the producers is already telling me that our time has becoming to be our enemy right now. And of course, we don't want time to be our enemy. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we would like to go on a very short break. And of course, when we talk, Mr. Manasseh right here is definitely going to be telling us his experience with Crowd World, but that will be after the short break. Thank you. Welcome back from the short break. Of course, my name is Omoje So Alfred, the boss of all bosses, and of course, one of the most innocent guys on the face of planet Earth. And this is discovering the gold mine in real estate. It said something. It said to me, first of all, you need to take risks. Then before you now start looking of who to trust. But something striking I always wanted to go on with for those people that are scared of investing their money. He said people sleep and die, but does not stop you from sleeping. It doesn't really stop you from sleeping. You in fact, the next minute you say, I feel like sleeping. You just go and sleep because why? That is also part of the risk we take every now and then. Well, Mr. Manasseh, tell us your experience with Crowd World Real Estate Company.
Yeah, it's been a very, very smooth journey together with Crowd World. Like,
Okay.
if I was going to give them a rating, assuming on Google Play Store, I would give them a 5-star rating.
Wow.
Yeah, because this is one of the most reputable Nigerian developers that I've come across. In that the communication is clear, there is no hidden terms and conditions. When I first encountered them, I heard about them from a colleague of mine, so he spoke to me about them. And the first question on my mind was, are they recognized by the government? Okay. How long have you heard about them? Already I've made up my mind that I'm going to get something from them. But let me just get to know one
These people, yeah.
Yeah, so he told me that he's encountered them and they've been there for a while. And so I did my little background check. So I went online, I just typed the name, and then I saw a long internet presence, as in internet presence for a long time. So I was convinced that these guys are for real. I still did my other background check, which I will not want to say, but let me just say these are one of the These are one of the reliable people I've come across when it comes to developers, when it comes to estate developers. Reason because I told you the transparency. What you can be able to see clearly, you can be able to see clearly.
Yeah.
If I have not been able to experience this, I'll not have been able to say this.
Okay.
They also have plans for any kind of a person, depending on your willingness to adhere to that plan. And those plans are very, very comfortable. They are very, very convenient. They are realistic. They are achievable. And the most important thing is they are time bound. So you are able to work with a particular schedule. And if you are disciplined enough, you are able to meet up with that particular schedule.
Okay. Now, you actually you're now say you own a property in one of their estate, and that is the Abara estate at the Shea. Tell us a little bit about it. Okay, that is like you started beyond the fact that you have other land banking properties. Now you now own a property in Crado Estate Aba. I mean, you actually did the land banking process with them in Aba. Tell us a little bit about Aba. Tell us, how do you found the area?
Well, at Abara is one of the places I'll tell you that you need to key into people that have foresight. Abara is strategically located, is well accessed. The route to the place is paved. There's government presence, there's private presence. So located within that particular location is the new campus for the Rivers State University Faculty of Agriculture. Abroad, they will say School of Agriculture or College of Agriculture. So the Faculty of Agriculture is situated there. Just adjacent that particular location, there's a Chinese agricultural company, which I believe we complement the Faculty of Agriculture that is there. Before that particular Faculty of Agriculture, there's a Catholic university there, which is a private university. Right opposite it, we have a private polytechnic. So if you look at the location of where this asset is in Port Harcourt, you already know that this is something that is going to appreciate within the shortest period of time. And to burst your bubble, as at December 2021, this property was assuming 100% of its price. As at April 2022, the property has appreciated 50% of its value on the former. And as at ending of July, August 1st, the property is going to go 200% of the price in December. This is not up to 10 months. So I'm giving you a prospect of about 14 months. I'll be talking about 300, because if you see as it's growing almost exponentially. So you are talking about 300 to probably 500 or 700%. Then let's say within 5 years, when everywhere will be filled up, because the activities there are rapidly advancing. Like the Faculty of Agriculture there is completed. I'm just waiting for the governor to move the student. The moment they move there, automatically all other estate developers are going to hike their price. And the good thing about Crado is that theirs is one of the most affordable, if not even the most affordable, strategically located where there are no swamps. It's just develop, go ahead and develop. Now, the advantage you also derive is that their plots are numbered. That is, the numbers are registered. For those that know about land or have experience with land, you know that every surveyor is probably given 25 or 20 pairs of numbers every month by the state government under the Ministry of Land Survey and Town Planning. These numbers come in pairs, meaning that the government is aware, the Surveyor General is aware. So whatever it is, those lands have their numbers, they have their allocation, and the moment you are issued your deed of conveyance and your registered survey plan of the particular layout you have paid for, you are guaranteed that this is backed by government. Number one, they have taken over the entire process of the legal fee and the legal charges. It has been incorporated. You don't need to interface with the lawyers. They've done that on your behalf. The next thing is they have gone beyond that to provide you coverage with the Ministry of Lands, which is the registry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where to show that, man, they have already logged in your details. So you can go there and check anytime, and you see that actually those pair of numbers for the plot you have paid for is under your name.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as putting your money somewhere that you are very sure. I've already given you instance 10 months, 200% increment. So you can imagine what will happen. So you've dropped your money where your mind is at rest. Like I said, I'm a Christian, so the Bible will say, store for yourself treasures in heaven where termites will not access them, thieves will not break into them. So this is one of the guarantees I can give to you. Not because of the Christian aspect, but I'm just giving you my own philosophy about the particular asset. So it's been a smooth experience. The follow-up was nice. So with regards payment, they give you a reminder, a subtle reminder. If you are open-minded, you know that, okay, these people are putting me up to the game. Okay, I need to know, okay.
Meaning you don't just do a deal with them and they just abandon you. So that this constant check-up they do on you.
Yeah, they guide you through the process.
They put you through the process.
Even after you pay, they don't just keep you in the dark. They tell you, this is the reason why you've not gotten this is because we have challenges on this or this. Okay. They give you a month. Before a month, you are already invited to come and take your documents. And probably you are like, this will take a month. And they are calling me after 3 weeks. Well, it's good.
All right.
And
but what will you say to people that really that are skeptical when it comes to investing with Crowder World? What would you say to people that are skeptical? They are still trying to gain their feet. Okay, because I knew of someone that met us January when we were giving the land for 400, and the person says, no, I don't want to go because it's far. No, I don't want to go. It's far. It's this and that. And the person ended up buying 2 months after for the rate of 550. And all she keeps saying is, I don't know. Okay, so now at the rate of 550, she bought 2 plots. That is a 1.1. And with 1.2, she would have gotten 3 plots.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and now she says, I don't know. So what would you say to people like that are skeptical?
I would say to people that are skeptical that they need to be open-minded. They need to consider the foresight they probably lack. It could be a deficiency, no problem with that. But key into the foresight that other people that have reputation are already having or have already deployed in the field of doing this particular business. So just key into their foresight and get informed decision. Informed decision, just like factors have stated. There are factors that bring about development. Like if you go to Benin, you go to Jos, you go to Zaria, the reason why those locations are developed is because there are government presence such as educational institutions. If you go around University of Benin, you see the development that it has attracted because people go there. There will be foreign workers, there will be domestic indigenous workers, there will be foreign students, there will be trading activities. Those people need land to carry out their activities. Likewise, this location. And funny enough and fortunate enough, this is not just the government facility that is located there. The private are also there. So people are going to be there. Anywhere there are human beings, there will be commerce. There will be trade and commerce. Now, when you have a property where there is potential for trade and commerce, you are sure that there will be appreciation in value. So do not be skeptical, except you want to be like the person that doesn't want to sleep because he's scared he'll probably die in his sleep. You will surely die one day. So just sleep. You will wake up. So don't be skeptical. Just be open-minded. Have an open-minded approach to this.
I want to say thank you to Mr. Malansin for coming by. We really appreciate your presence. I always said something. We will not take your presence for granted at all. We won't take your presence for granted. I want to say thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you staying glued to your TV set, don't forget this is Discovering the Gold Mine in Real Estate. And of course, today we actually looked at 3 major ways to make money, to heap wealth through the land banking. Mr. Malasin said things so striking. He talks about you have to take risks. You need to learn how to take risks. You need to, yeah, but beyond the taking risks, his number 3 point is so amazing. I say, look for people that are genuine, people that can actually invest, actually teach you how you can invest your money to land bank. So you don't just wake up in the morning and start throwing your money around just because you heard that the land is cheap, the land is affordable or whatever, and you put your money, you say, discover them. Of course, and that is why Crowder World International is here to help you make that profit when it comes to land banking. But you should know something I tell people every day. For those of you that are saying, oh, the land must be in township, the land must be in this, the land must be in that. There is no crime of you buying land in the township. The question is, what do you want to do with that property? All right, what do you want to do in that property? I tell people the best time to buy a land is 5-10 years ago. Okay, so if I buy a land 5-10 years ago, maybe I own a plot of land 5-10 years ago. Imagine how much that land will have piled up for me now. I will make more money. I want to also tell people you don't go into land banking for yourself or for your immediate family. We're talking about a means where you can accumulate wealth for your generation and generation to come. Now he talked about the Israelites. Okay, today we go to Israel. I want to go to Jesus' tomb. Lazarus was there. This person was there. Do you think they wake up in the morning and put those things together? Do you think those designs were today? How about you go? Some of us will go. It's a tourist center. We pay money to see those things. You don't just go and see them for free. But let's imagine if they would have destroyed that stuff because they felt, oh, that was like 2,000 years ago. But you're seeing it. There's some of us who will pray, will say, hey, Lord Jesus, oh, Lord Jesus, and everything. But I'm not saying it's a crime. What I'm saying is the people there, they foresee their children's children, that generation, and they have it in mind that our generation and our children will make money from those things. And that is why they put it together. So, like I said before, 10 years ago is the best time to buy a land. And believe you me, something so striking about Crado Estate in Abara. The striking thing is, as at January, it was 400. As at today, 650. As at 1st of August, from 1st of August, guess what? It's going to be 800,000. Imagine how much. Imagine how many percent within the last 7 months. You can't beat that. That's what land banking does for you. You can't beat it. You can't just beat it. Okay, you can't just and you are assured of all your documents. Okay, now kind of I always tell people they are reliable, they are trustworthy, they are people you should bank on. All right, I don't just say this anyhow on air, but there are people you should bank on. And of course, when you do that, have me to celebrate and to praise later. But for now, you need to secure your life. You need to secure the life of your children. So don't be, when people tell me, oh, I need something I can just do, no. You look at, you're a greedy man. You're greedy to yourself, you're greedy to your generation, you're greedy to your children. You're just being greedy. So why are you just being greedy? You're just thinking about yourself. And that's why you're greedy. You're greedy because you're just thinking about yourself. It's just you and me. So you're greedy. So the question is, what would you keep for your generation to come? Are you even thinking about that? Are you thinking about that? Okay, so you need to invest. Okay, you need to invest, and of course, Crowder World is a real estate company based in River State here, South, Port Harcourt precisely. And believe you me, okay, we have structures on ground, okay, to enable you invest in land banking, and of course, giving you return of investment, return of your capital. Because why? We have the foresight, we are trustworthy, we have tested, and we have satisfied. We have all it takes, okay, to make you have that your dream home, number one, that dream wealth you're looking forward to for your children to come, and including you. Okay, we have all that planned out already. So why not just give us a call today? Give us a call. Visit us in our office. And of course, I believe you're a trier. will not disappoint you. You do that, and of course, like I said before, just have me to blame, have me to thank 10, 15, 20, even 2 years to come. Okay? Have me to thank. Mr. Manasseh, thank you for coming. We do appreciate your presence. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, I want to say thank you to everyone that stayed glued to this TV, to your TV set today. Thank you to everyone, from the producer behind the studio up to you on the seat, and of course to the wonderful people, clients and family of Crowd World. I want to say thank you to everyone. Until I say again, same station, same time next week. Always keep your swag on, because that's the best thing for you to do. Don't forget what Mr. Manasseh said. He said people sleep and die every day, but that will not stop you from sleeping. Bye for now.